Welcome back. I'm just getting the links for the super chats if anyone wants them. I've been very epically unorganized, as you do, you know. Bring the microphone a little bit closer. How are we all doing? I'll just get the links and I shall share them with you. I usually do have them there. For those of you that may be there. It's funny how I built the website. Yeah, I should know where things are. Yeah. Okay. I'll just grab the links and I will pull the cards just in case those of you want to use it and you haven't had time to jump on the website. The website always has all the PayPal links for Q&A. How are we doing? There is the credit card if you want to pay. You can use YouTube. It's up to you. And I will put the PayPal donation link. I usually have it there. I've got to get my crap together. How are we all doing? Are we enjoying the energy? This month is a pretty big one, so I wouldn't be surprised if some of you were like feeling the, frequency of change in the air. Definitely I do see, and I have had some friends that actually have come back into communication with their twin. They had a 20-year transition with theirs, and I did say this year would be the one that we would actually start to have communication and movement. So don't be surprised. There it is. God, that was a big, arduous kind of task, wasn't it? How are you doing? Okay, PayPal link at and there's that one. Okay, now I can get into it. I'll star that. The cards, how are we doing? I thought maybe no live today. Yeah, I've come on here with the tooth abscess. That doesn't happen. Delayed, maybe. What I might be doing soon is pre-recording them, hosting them on Friday, and then doing the super chats on a Sunday. So it's just, they're two separate situations. So if that's something you guys are interested in, it'll probably work a little bit better. And then it keeps it purely and simply to the super chats and we can tuck straight into it. Because these videos do tend to get quite long. I mean, I've had 2 hours. If you haven't checked your zodiac signs, go through because I have spent easy 30 minutes and beyond, and the extensions can go up to about 50 minutes. I don't know. And, it wasn't a wisdom tooth. That went earlier on in the piece, and the dentist said to me, oh, they can grow back. And I was like, what? I had to break my jaw to get it out. Yeah. They're so nice. Doing okay, feeling the change. I feel a little more free. We are going to feel that way. Initially, we can feel a little bit more lighter. This is probably the first month we're going to see what Saturn was really on about, right? And that's because we had Mars and Gemini. So intellectually, we may have been picking up on it, but really getting it misinterpreted, because it had been sitting there from August last year. And so the intellectual frequencies of the astrology, it was very heavy on our brain, on our mind. It did make us really moving to the last week of the month pretty tired. So we do need to try and get as grounded as possible due to the fact that this axis with the two moons is going to be the new signature coming through by July for our nodal transit. And that's going to really, it's more like a theme that will come through and it will be consistently there till 2025. And we saw, you know, during 2020, we had the Great Conjunction. Even wrapping up those cycles, these themes this year are coming up as well, because Pluto was at the 29-degree point. And I did mention on Instagram a little situation I had happen, which my Pluto was transiting for Libra through the 4th house of home and family. And I did have a lot of moves over the last few years. It did teach me that home was in the heart, inside, and not necessarily physically in a home. So it taught me to really let go and go with the flow and be present and make a home wherever you lay your head, so to speak. Separately, it was funny because I came through an image on Google Maps. I was trying to look for my old address as a child, and it was in New Zealand. And I came across the address, and it was so baffling because, you know, my father had passed away a couple of years ago. And I also went in looking at this house. I was like, that's not my house. That's really strange. Definitely the street. And then they gave me, you know, the photos over the last like 10, 15 years. And it worked out that the actual house had been demolished and rebuilt. So that was an ending of a chapter really to do with home. So it was quite metaphorical and physical really with that critical degree with Pluto at 29 degrees. So it can be with your family and home. You're entering into new chapters. And it's in Aquarius at the moment. So collectively, when we do tend to look at astrology with the masculine's energy, it will be Jupiter and Mars. Mars at the moment, it can be subjects to do with family and children, lineage, childhood, home. It's also their emotions and how they handle their emotions. Jupiter in Aries, Chiron in Aries. This eclipse is going to be very, very large for them at the moment. So let's see what comes through in the cards and what we need to know. Okay, we're coming through with the Chariot, so there is a notion of moving forward. Some of you, you know, and I was really picking this last night, some divine feminines may be going into a new chapter, and it can be by choice, you know, where you're saying, okay, I really don't see this situation changing. Maybe I need to move forward. I do tend to find, which I am going to have to do a video very soon based on the cycles of the path, you know, what part in the earliest stages, it's almost like at a drop of a hat, you can call each other and you can communicate. And as long as it's not really to do with the connection, you tend to be able to tell each other, you know, things out of a drop of a hat, and you will listen to each other. And then it goes to a very different stage where you go through all that rigorous healing and detachment, and it feels very isolating. It feels almost like you're looking under your armpit for maybe a blockage or a healing. And sometimes it's not that you're not healed, it's that a person is closing a cycle out and it's not personal, but it does feel very personal. And so the communication at that point in the journey can be very, very bothersome and very almost like it never existed. But it's so that you move into detachment. It's so that if there is anything on your side of the fence that maybe you put on hold, that you address those things. And it's through that isolation that we actually do that shadow work. This month can be a big month for purging and healing. If you've already done it, which I do tend to find in the twin flame community, we've done those things maybe the year before, and then we see it coming through in the collective. What you will find is if there's any residue, you will be doing that shadow work to do with your wellness, to do with balance, the full moon in Libra. You know, we're going to be looking at that. That can be our wellness, our balance, fairness, justice. There can be new laws coming up in society. And then the next moon is the eclipse, is the first eclipse of the year. And that will be in the house of Aries at the critical degree. And it's a new moon. So I do believe both moons are really a signature of an ending and a new beginning. And so it can be very, very, very emotional. Very, very emotional. We are going to be embodying masculine energy to really assert ourselves. We do need to be cautious not to be pushy, manipulative, narcissistic, self-centered. There can be in some instances where we're looking at it and going, okay, where have I been out of alignment with these Aries placements? That's what your zodiacs are for. Go and have a look at where it can come up. And if you want a definite interpretation, you'd need to book a reading so I can look at your chart and I can tell you where that signature is coming up for you. And it's going to be sitting there till 2025. So with retrogrades, directs, hard transits, it will be intensified. I will be doing a webinar based on the eclipse in Aries. I may host it via YouTube after, so we will get into that a bit later. Okay. Pick your poison, left or right for masculine. I'll let you guys pick as we dive in. I'm definitely seeing we're moving forward, and it's like the courage to be disliked. It's like moving forward. Chariot, both parties really wanting to proceed forward. It's funny because Cancer, the zodiac sign really coming through for this is Cancer, which with the eclipses, we had Pluto ingress out. It's like we're moving forward. But again, it's like after a tower moment, after all that we've learned, we're tapping into our emotions and we're trying to proceed forward through this. There is this connectiveness, and it feels almost like we may have a situation on our side of the hand. Sweet, first in, best dressed. We may have a situation on our hands where Mars in Cancer, we're becoming very assertive, we're becoming very angry and wanting to move forward, and those old emotions that were there are resurfacing. But the Chariot is really a positive way to start the read, in my opinion. So I do feel there is this inkling that something is moving forward. We don't quite know what it is. I do feel both masculine and feminine are wanting to move forward. And, if you've done that shadow work, there could be some signatures of what needs to be shifted. But I do feel within the connection, there's some movement happening. I do feel the blockages. Yes, the astrology might have been some of the blockages and the hold up. And it feels like this month is going to feel like the beginning of the year. So I'm noticing the Ten of Swords to the past. It feels like something is going to be let go of. And that can be the emotion. And a lot of times when there isn't movement in the path, it's due to an emotional frequency that we're embodying in our psyche, in our conditioning to do with tribe. And so I do feel this is a time where we're trying to get grounded so that we can approach each other, so we can approach our own life situations and within the connection. There is this revelation of what needs to be, really creating some sense of harmony. Now, if we are shortchanging ourselves, we're kind of giving a little bit over here and a little bit over there. And it's, it won't be balanced. So there could be a negotiation that is coming up between the connection, but you're also trying to get back into balance so the situation isn't triggering you. But I definitely feel something is being looked at more realistically than it had been before. Some of us are very resentful towards our heart, but within the joint connection, some of you can be saying to yourself, this is a cruel journey. Why? I heard another channel, and it was a couple of months ago, and there was a bit of blasphemy going on to do with the Twin Flame Collective. And, it was really strange coming from a spiritual channel, because to me, especially this month, we need to have empathy. I've also noticed in the collective, especially on TikTok and things like that, there has been a lot of shade thrown at feminines. And again, moon energy, mother energy, feminine energy, Mars is there. We do need to be careful and aware of that, is that we should be pulling sisters up, not pulling, sisters down, and the same principle on the other side. So I feel this cruelty. It's like, the heart space it's unfortunate and unfair for those things to be, going on. Like, how can we protect our heart? How can we get what we want without things getting messy? And there could be a bit of a conundrum that the joint connection is currently dealing with. A lot of you are looking at, okay, what's the holdup? Why is this so quiet at the moment? Some of you also through your psychic energy may have found that you're not really feeling the person's frequency. For some of you, when that happens, it's generally because the person is very 3D and they're dealing with something, and they're really pouring their energy in. So they probably haven't had a moment to stop. And that's why directly you don't get that vibration coming through. I also feel it's important that we understand that this person, if they've retreated back, just really mirror that. Don't go into, okay, it's a little bit like when you think to yourself, well, I haven't heard from them, so I'll need to reach out. I mean, it almost like they've forgotten. Have they forgotten my number? Have they forgotten where I am? Have they forgotten that I love them? Not necessarily. The connection is the connection. It's not going to go away. I do feel this person at the moment has been in hermit mode, but I feel they're adulting up and trying to look at what they can do. And the more you don't do the ebbs and flows back in negotiation, just make your statement, I think it's going to go better. I do feel this person is reflecting upon what they need to do, and there could have been some trauma. I'm also feeling that they are trying to be realistic to do with how they can handle stresses, whatever that circumstance is going on in their life. But I don't feel I do feel they know inevitably they're going to resurface, and they kind of are looking at the situation like, I know I'm going to have to address this. I'm trying to get my bearings as I'm making these conscious choices. They already have made the choice, but they also know that they need to be more realistic with how they're approaching you. So there could have been for some of you an argument, a misunderstanding, cross wires, a personal circumstance that is happening with them. And if it has triggered something in you, that's the mirror. You know, it sucks, but that's why inside that connection those things happen. Oh, the joy. Okay, I do feel in the past they've had some very controlling people in their life. I do feel to a degree you would like to see that they are owning their power, they're addressing it in a healthy fashion, that they're asserting themselves. Some of you, it's triggering you where you're like, okay, do I need to do something? Is there something I've missed? Do I need to communicate? Because there is a connection here between the both of you, but it feels to date there has been a lot of sacrifices in order to maintain that frequency. And I do feel that is kind of dissipating. That status quo of, you know, maintaining whatever it is. I feel that something inside of that has really shifted. It's like it can no longer stay in the status quo. Something directly in that is shifting because the cup is half full. Okay. It's unstable. It's unsustainable. So I do feel one party in the mix of this is sending the signal to the other individual, either on the ethers or directly in the 3D, that is not maintainable. I hope that's a word. It's not manageable. It's not sustainable. Some of you are fretting that because something has popped off or something's about to. This can be either to do with family, accommodation related dynamic, people of the past. Is that this is, yeah, something can't go with us. Something is shifting. I definitely feel this is something to do with tribe and family. Look, for some, it might have been that they went through a breakup. They went into, this could have been a year of silence. This could have been within a karmic relationship. Whatever that conditioning was, I do feel the signature of it is dissipating, but it's also because you're reaching a point of acceptance of what you need and that you can't be the fill-in, you can't be the crumbs. So I feel in a signature sense, it's sending the PDF to them. They're feeling it within their aura, and a shift energetically in the 3D is happening. I do feel there's a tower about to come. Could the tower be on divine masculine side? We will see. But I do directly feel sometimes the tower can be we're pulling something down because it's not sustainable. We can't do it that way. We're feeling there's been a lot of sacrifices. I do feel from the heart sense, it almost feels this could come up between now and the full moon. And I do feel do your bath rituals around that time. That is one time you want to hydrate. You want to find harmony. You want to not go into vindictiveness. It's sit with the vibration and really smudge your homes, you know, use your heart chakra, pink quartz, and, you know, dive into that because it's going to give you some messages. It's going to give you some inklings. I do feel there's stress coming at a foundation level, but that's usually where it's the precipice of change. Okay. For some of you, they might have come in and it started and then they dipped out and they left. And I feel they're making reference to that. They're making reference to the frustration of they were ready, but something wasn't quite ripe. And then they dipped and they left again. And it's really confusing a lot of you. I feel it's coming up again because I do feel this person knows that, you know, there's no perfect. It's time to jump. It's time to jump in the deep end because there is a risk of losing this. I do feel some of them may have gone through a loss. I always look at this card as the inheritance card. And so some of you may be thinking, if there has been some conundrum going on with family, is that maybe you will lose this because it's changed the whole dynamic. It has, in fact, changed the whole dynamic, but it's also giving them a way to heal at a very aggressive level. Oh, they're up in their heads. Really up in the heads. They believe that something was going to turn out in a different way. They could have had the very best of intentions to get things in order so that the flow on, there was less blowback, so to speak. They're really looking at it now and being very critical on themselves. In hindsight 360, it's like they're looking at it going, it wasn't quite ready. Otherwise, they would have jumped in the deep end. It wasn't about you. It wasn't your fault. There were some old things that they needed to come to terms with that they didn't know. In the past, even though they feel it would have been the best relationship to choose, they also felt they weren't psychologically ready to give you everything that they felt you deserved. Because in the heart of hearts, they've always loved you. In the heart of hearts, they've always known that they're going to be there with you. And so they're trying to just accept that, because they know they can't turn time back, but they do feel their steps really moving forward is really that intention that they know what they want, they know how they feel, and they really want to change for the better. Some of them did feel a karmic situation was going to be a change, but when they're looking back, they knew it never was. This can, like I said, this can be a great deal of acceptance. And I do feel this revelation of looking at both sides of the fence is really causing a bit of upheaval. Their outcome card is the Star. I do feel some of them are going into actually looking, some of them are getting gossip relating to a karmic. Some of them are actually checking you via social media. Okay, something of a hold up has put a pause on this, but I feel the movement. I can see the play button, and it feels like the play button is go. Some of you can get some information that is quite shocking to you. Okay, it's funny because we do have maybe them dealing with an individual that was emotionally unstable. It could have also been like unwell, like healing. And they're also making reference to the fact that there was guilt associated to this. So if they were leaving it, they felt shame. They felt shame, connected, because especially with the ego as their crowning energy, really going through those vaults of conditioning with, the zodiac of Cancer, which is our conditioning. I feel there was shame and embarrassment to do with it. They weren't directly connected to it. They were ready to tap out, but then potentially there could have been a situation that was very unwell. Now, it might have been that they became unwell. For some, it could have been that a karmic individual they were dealing with was unwell. They thought they were moving towards you. Now they're worried that somebody else is going to take their place. Some of them also are getting gossip. And this will be a very select message because not all of you are doing the same thing. I'll just say. Some of them are aware of another person who is interested in you or seeing you. And this has actually pushed them backwards a bit. This is like, oh, okay. They also thought at times you would be better off with another person. I don't think that's the overarching energy. I feel it's more there could be some, I'm snooping around, trying to look at whether you're with somebody. Okay, what is this? I think they're resisting the change. You know, it's a little bit like when you're in a karmic relationship and you say to yourself, well, if they jump out, I'll jump out. And then you realize you've actually got your own traumas to deal with whatever connection you're in. Yeah. They feel they're running out of time. They do feel they're running out of time. Well, that's a lot. Well, I'll be down. Okay, I'll take it. What is this gossip place? It's almost like, where are they getting their information from? These cards are just jumping out. Okay, they're snooping on you. They want to know what is going on with you. They want to know if you are seeing somebody. Old traumas are coming up. That's on their side. Okay, old traumas. It's coming up. What I am seeing is, for some of them, and I think this is more the older generation energy of the twin flame path. It might have been they were in a marriage and it was till death do you part, and they thought that that was something that they had to address. Something is ending in order to give them the star card, but this could be a complete death of a cycle, right? Acceptance and loss of hope. I told you a lot jumped out. Facing the misfortune and accepting it, but they're getting the star card as the outcome. So I feel some of them have even been feeling like if they were going to go to hell and back with someone, it was going to be for you. Yes, got triggered. He's trying to... Okay, let's see Divine Feminines. I don't know. There's some messed up thing going on over there, I'm telling you, and it's going to happen very quickly. It's like, feels very quick. I also feel that some of them that are maybe looking at social media, do I message, do I not? Do I message, do I not? You may notice they're dipping in and out. I'm hearing negotiation. I'm also hearing that it's almost like they're calling themselves out and saying, you just need to bite the bullet and talk. Okay, so some personal things are going on over here that do appear to be very heavy. The other thing is they're watching you. Some of them are wondering why you haven't contacted them, especially if they're going through a very hard time with the situation. It's a little bit like us during 2020 and everything went pear-shaped, and then, there was no communication. I mean, we would be sitting there going, well, obviously you don't care about me. Well, the same principle there, kind of bringing through in a channeled message. I'm just saying, I'm the messenger. You two are really mirroring each other at the moment, but one's the cockiness, one's the ego, feminine and masculine. Both of you are looking at it. Both of what your thoughts are irrelevant. Not irrelevant, they are relevant, they're good points. But then emerging two worlds, how do we get to that? I think the emotions and the loneliness have really been getting to Divine Feminine. I also feel the out there in the cold frequency and dealing with your, shadow work and maybe feeling you're the only one who's doing the healing. Well, at least you'll have your life together, right? Some of you are picking up on this psychically and it's not matching. It's almost like you can be getting through the ethers that they're longing to come towards you, but then it's like, usually you get a phone call or a message or some synchronistic event occurring. Some of you could be getting that coming through, and it's not saying it's not happening. It is happening, but it's giving you the PDF early. And the more you detach as that comes in, the quicker that will flow. It's because it's like disillusionment. What is acceptance? Half the time it directly looks like disillusionment. But I do feel you're looking to the past with this connection with your twin, and you're feeling like, you're really longing. You want to reconnect. You're coming to terms with it. Some of you are feeling like there is going to be no justice, okay? Some of you are feeling, this is always going to be this way. And that you deserve so much better. You deserve the world. It could be that they have, for some, it could be that they have habits or there's a financial hold up and they're looking at that and you're thinking, well, we're always going to have another problem waiting. That's life. We always are. So a lot of you are potentially looking at it going, but there's always going to be another horizon. So, when are we just going to bite that metaphorical bullet and just dive in the deep end? I feel you're resisting, some of you are wanting so much more than just the intimacy. And I'm speaking in code here. So it could be that you're looking at it and saying, I don't just want the fly by night. I want the whole connection. You do like an element of who they are, But you're looking for something of a more traditional thing, even though it's not completely the traditional route. Some of you, your faith is what's going to get you through. We have the faith card as the outcome. Some of you could actually get engaged. I'm just saying. Some of you also, okay, they want me to pull another layer for Divine Feminine. Why? I don't know. There is something else in the mix here that's going on with Divine Feminine. Let's see. Grab these up before we get into the super chats. Has somebody asked you something? Has somebody offered you something? This could be your twin or another person. Is there somebody who's taken your eye? This won't be for all of you, but there's something in the mix here of a secondary layer. Is the chat still working? I can never tell these days. Or is everyone listening? It's really quiet. Yes, I noticed that the super chats were very active in PayPal this morning. I was like, oh, okay, we've got some questions, eh? Okay, what is this other layer for Divine Feminine? Some of you had some very exciting opportunities coming. Business ventures? Okay. Okay, some of you that have not come to terms with a past situation, it can be coming back up again, and this can be something totally separate to Divine Masculine. You've got to be careful of that loneliness being your undoing. I do think some of you, it's just you've come to terms with the fact that you're ready for a relationship, and that's okay too. You're worried that you're going to, how do I put it? Some of you are worried that if you go back in, it's going to be the same situation. Some of you are worried that if you choose be it it's your twin, be it it's another person, is the same going to happen? Well, just remember, intuitively, sometimes we get up in our heads. Sometimes we get to a space where we feel that, what is the safest option? What's the most logical option? The heart's always the most logical option. Obviously, choosing the way you interact with that. It's a little bit like you're making a cake and you're putting it in the oven. Well, if you don't have it at the right temperature, you're not going to get the rise. If you don't have the baking pattern and the correct measurements, maybe it's going to be a bit of a flop. You have too much oil, it might crack. So, yes, you can take that information on board. Somebody is... Okay, what is this? Could there be guilt in association to a karmic, and is there a healing? For some of you, there may be a karmic contract with you, not them. So if the karmic has not shifted, it could be that that contract no longer is with Divine Masculine, but it's actually with you. And because it's there to trigger you, to heal you in some level. And once you do, and acceptance doesn't mean this is pretty. Acceptance means, what is this showing me? What is it showing me? And then reaching into that and going, yeah, that reminds me of a previous time. It wasn't fun. That was a role I took on. That was something I didn't believe. Maybe it took me 3 years to come to terms with it. No, it doesn't have to be that it's taking 3 years for them. I am going to look at my old shadow and I'm going to accept that it wasn't great and, say to myself, okay, that's what that's about. And by letting go, it shifts the vibration of that connection. I feel there's two worlds, though. I'm kind of getting the world card, and it's like you're pulled in two directions, one between the past and one between the future. You are going to know intellectually what the best one is for you. You do want someone who's working with you. But if you have attracted somebody into your life that is working with you, do you have the love for them? Or is it just that it's flowing? I mean, 100% you deserve happiness. 100% you deserve somebody who's working with you. Just make sure you won't get bored with it. Make sure you're going into it for the correct reasons. But what you're sometimes in a reading, what it can be is that this person does do a 180. And so it's the same person. Some of you are psychologically and emotionally saying to yourself, is that even possible that that can happen? And as you reach acceptance and know that big things can change and do a 180, it actually manifests, because I'm seeing that as a huge possibility here. Yeah, definitely a huge possibility. Okay, so do I see communication? I do. If you guys are aware of what they are going through, use that to your advantage. Okay, definitely use it to your advantage. I do feel pending engagement. Does it have to look like the normal 3D? Not necessarily. I mean, these things, when you do go back into the connection, it can be a little bit of a renegotiation, a little bit of adjustment, because even though we subconsciously feel we're very open to a connection, when you've been alone for a long time, you have to readjust to that too. You're literally going back into it like, how would I put it? I've been alone for so long, you know, at a drop of a hat, I have a bath. I eat my dinner when I need to. I've been in this storyline with the, with the psychic connection, having a relationship in that connection, that when it's happening in the 3D, it's confronting those things. Let's read some of the chats. And we will get into the super chats. Did I miss any? I probably should have checked in PayPal. Has everyone mentioned their super chats? Hi, Angela. Not for the super chats, for the update, yes. I'm going to be pre-recording these so I can really sit in and channel the messages, pre-record them, upload them. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 in PayPal. Do we have Dawn? Yes. Leonix? Yes. Giggle? Did you put your name? Yes. Do we have Christine? Or is it Chris? We've got Christine and Kay with, yeah. So any of you who have sent a, if you don't see a name on the list, you better mention it, because I'm looking through the PayPal. There's 2 extra individuals that have not put their PM up. When you do the PayPal, I'm in here, so you can always pay for your super chats ahead of time, even today for next week. What you do is go to the PayPal, or you can pay it through YouTube or credit card. Either way, I'm not fussed. I give that opportunity to you. And then you comment on the video and say super chat paid. That's it. And then you're in the queue for the reading. Okay. Well, let's go. Dawn, hey girl. Dawn's like, I read Dawn's message in PayPal. I loved it. I love reading these, especially when some of the messages come through. Where is it? Dawn, I love it. I just love it. What was said? I can't remember now. I think it was just a check-in and, whatever else. Where is it? I can't find it now. Anyway, thanks for that, Dawn. It was hilarious. I love it. Now, let's look. Let's see. So the calendar this month is going to be open, but then the following month, The schedule will be different again, but that's on my website. Okay. So if you are wanting a booking, grab it now. That's especially for those of you that only can have mornings with me because I'm in Australia. I do have a clock for the conversion time on the website. If there's ever an issue, just PM me via the website and I'll give you a hand to actually do the time conversion. Twin finally reached out. I did tell you. Don't stress, just attach. Just attach. It'll be fine. Yeah. But come on, go back to when we used to do that. And it was like, it's inevitable you're going to talk to me. You know what? Sometimes it's good to be immature. It keeps you young. I'm telling you. It's not over, okay? It's not over. There is going to be some hard people. Obviously, whatever is going on, he's still thinking about you. That's a positive thing. You're like, what, you're going to block me? Does it mean I don't exist on the planet? No, I live close. I live close. You can't stop thinking about me. You're so irritated you blocked me. What's that going to do? Protect you from doing something you might feel. He'll be fine. Their personal emotions. So, and look, a lot of the zodiacs at the moment are going to go through some upheaval. Masculine's going to be very up and down. You know, masculine frequency is generally quite detached. So it's generally they will be like, well, what are you wanting from me? What do you mean? Exactly. So what? They're not going to see you walking on the street, driving down in the car. They're not going to think about you in their head. They're not going to want to ring and fight with you again just because they want to talk to you. It's like, what are we doing here? I did bring that up with Giggle yesterday. There was a time many moons ago, Twin decided to trigger me and try and make me jealous, and we hadn't even been in a relationship. And subconsciously, it was there. And I walked away, and he chased me. Found me in the kitchen and he's like, what's wrong with you? I was like, don't you ever do that to me again. We don't talk about it, but we know what this is and you are not to do that to me ever again. And he was like, sorry. Okay, so what we have done, what I have coming through, something's going down with So, thank you for the entertainment. I'll love you to bits, Dawn. Something's going on with them. It's emotional. It's things they need to let go of. So this in and out, in and out. It's like literally when I do channel your twin, he has a lot to say. His throat chakra is really messed up at the moment. He's wanting to articulate it, but he feels it's inappropriate. Hi, Dal. How you doing? So I do feel, does he feel, what about me? Yeah, there's this unfair kind of vibration of the past. But, you know, it's kind of like knowing that you're causing your own misfortune. Do you know what I mean? It's like, why are we even fighting for? Why are we even fighting for? Was there conflict? Is there a problem? I can't say the sky is blue. It's touchy. I think he feels that you're being too harsh. You're being too mean. You're making it difficult for him to articulate how he feels because he said it. And it's because something hasn't wrapped up. It's like, well, you can't have your cake and eat it too. It's like, I'm over here, and if you're happy driving Miss Stacey, well, you know, someone's got to go. I'm going that way. You staying there? Cool. I'm going that way. You know, message was when there was passings of individuals, he was going to exit stage. He didn't. He blocked himself in further. Now it's coming up. He's having to address, you know, value. He's having to address, you know, is the money, is the buck worth the grind? Is it worth it? Because he can't have you if he's chained to that, because it's holding him back, and he knows that. He's like, how will I have my reconciliation? I'm getting media here. She's going to get paid. She's going to move forward. She's just watching me, apparently having a really grand life. Not really. Yeah, you're moving forward. It's triggering this person. You're like, I want healthy. I want happy. I want to circle myself with light. I want to play. That really triggers them, Dawn, when you play. You know, it does. This person, you know, the pressure is there to make a judgment. Okay, what I'm being shown is, what did you do during the week? Have you put anything on social media? Because it could have been a social event or somewhere you went. They're wanting you to, you know, be like a old spinster and just sit there and just, you know, not do anything. And that's not you, Dawn. Okay, judgment's coming up. You're like, you can make up your mind. I'm getting disillusioned here. If you've got something going on. Oh, my, wow. Okay, Dawn, honestly, you're tired of it. I don't think you're not in love with him. I think you're not playing the inner child game. Does that make sense? Because every card that comes out is their energy of what they believe. And it's like, and they're kind of like grasping at straws to get your attention. It can be, I'm emotional. That's not working. All right. I'm unwell. I cared for people. That's not working. Somebody will take you, possibly. That's not working. And you're like, I used to be like this. Now I'm like this. No. But I do feel there is an event, something you're going to be asked to. I do feel you're triggering them. I don't know what you're doing, girl, but thank you for the entertainment. Because this person's in a bit of a tit. They're in a bit of a tangent. And really deep down what it is that they're very unhappy in a current situation that they're in. And you're not interfering in that. You're just looking at it. You're being a bystander, you're being a friend, even though there's emotions involved and you would like so much more. So there's nothing you're doing wrong here. But this person actually hasn't honored the truth of what they feel. And so they're getting upset about it. And they're trying to keep you where they are because they feel they're being left behind. But in fact, it is ushering them in so that they can move. And the art of appreciation, it's like, you know, if you want this and you want to have the whole cake, you've got to jump. You got to jump. You can't keep watching what you want. Got another PayPal through. Just an FYI giggle. Okay, who do we have next? Oh, anyway, get ready. You're going to have a social event. This person's going to get triggered. Don't stress about it. Keep doing it. Not on purpose. I wouldn't say, yeah, go and pee the person off on purpose. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying whatever you're doing, it's working, because this person's really in a tit about what you're doing. I actually have been so... Don't focus on it, darling. It wasn't your fault. When they're ready, they'll come towards you. Your friend will. I know. I feel there's communication there anyway. Don't own it, sweet. It's not for you. Donovan. I think of this Donovan. Okay, so we have Leo next. Let's have a look, sweet. So, Don Scorpio, did you send a super chat? Yeah, there you go. Okay, so we have Leo next. Sweet. Oh, yeah. You're feeling it. That's interesting. Okay. You got a few things coming through. You got the jealousy card straight off the bat, but I don't think it's you. It could be, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know. I'm hearing karma, but I don't think it's on you either. I think it's like you're kind of thinking to yourself, this could either be a conversation you've had with twin or another person. Somebody in the mix is jealous, and I don't think it's you. I think this is Yeah, we will with the pending eclipses and Pluto in Aquarius. We will have a lot of weather, very funky weather. And that's going to be through till, I would say, all of this month, all the next month, and maybe a little bit into, so it'll be April, May, and half of June, because we've got eclipses back to back, and 2 weeks into that eclipse as well. Okay, 2 weeks out, and then we're dipping into the next one, and that's Scorpionic, so it'll be underground. Yeah, and we have squares to Pluto, so and Mercury retrograde is intensifying that factor too. So be prepared collectively for that. Okay, so there's some jealousy. Now, this can be an individual who is in love with you that is very jealous. This can also be cause and effect of maybe your twin feeling jealous of, whatever's going on. I do feel there can be emotions that you are feeling relating to love, point blank zero. And especially you kind of feel you don't want to go into a karmic relationship. There could be a karmic situation that you're looking at and you're going, how is this going to turn out right now? Because you're feeling there is I don't know why I'm hearing a confrontation. I don't know what this confrontation's about. This can be, this is my karmic card and it's the outcome card at this point, okay? Yeah. Just attached on, don't own it, my love. Really don't own it. Okay, so you do have love from the past coming back. This can be one, multiple. You do have love coming back. Now, from the heart, you need to go into the heart space and choose what is correct for you. You need to make a balanced decision, a realistic decision. But I feel that you feel very vulnerable in the mix of this. You don't know what to choose. And there's fear that it's going to turn out the same. Okay, there is fear that you are walking into a dungeon, or there's also one message I'm getting is that if you found out during this silence, it feels like the silence game. I don't know. Thanks, Char. It feels like the silence. I get this vibe that you're kind of feeling if you heard that your twin had gone into a karmic relationship, there'd be a bit of whoopee cushion. But that's because when we have completed that cycle of work, we don't care. You will get so like, I've literally had all of the fears that possibly could happen to me happen. And so what naturally would you do? You'd leave. You'd go, that's just not going to work with me. And that's where no longer is that fear-based frequency defining you. Because if something happens, it's a little bit like, okay, you're in an unhealthy job. And it's like, but this is all I can have. This is all I can have. And then you never dip out and then the job's taken. And then you go, wow, I landed this really great job. I don't know why I didn't leave before. So then that information you take with you like a little bag. And when you enter into a different situation and it becomes toxic, you go, well, you know what? If it happens, I'll put my resume out and I'm going to leave. That's what we do. And so the trauma at the moment is being Rapunzel and, taking your hair up and going, I want it, right? I want it, but I'm just going to put my hair up. I'm not going to drop it down because any one of you MFs could hurt me. So I want it, but I can't have it because I'm not letting it. I'm not letting it. So there's a decision here you have, my love. And I do feel I don't know why I'm getting this, but my guides are showing me if you find out that your twin is with a karmic, there's going to be whoop ass. There's going to be a confrontation. I also feel this could be vice versa, the mirror. Okay, so just be open, be honest, sit with it. Ultimatums this month are not going to work. So if we did get to a point where saying to ourselves, okay, this isn't for me, we need to follow through with that, because it can be very, very 6-monthy. You know what I mean? I'd be like, okay, ultimatum taken, sweet. Wait and see you for 6 months because the eclipse, look at this. I'm all messed up. The eclipse can be 6 months. So one last card. There's a choice you have, though. You do have a choice. I don't want to be a fool again. Well, we're not being a fool. Having love is not foolish. Having love is experiencing life. You need to have blind faith. You need to become balanced in that so you're not scared, because there's nowhere that's safe in life. We can lose jobs, we can get hurt, we can get cheated on, but you could have had 2 years of really blissful life, and so would you want to dip out of 2 years of blissful life? You know, you want stories to look back to. You want a life to look back to. But you got to, you know, we still can have a really amazing life without being in a partnership. We really can. I mean, I had this revelation in the separation stage, and I was like, I need to start falling in love with this, because we're born into this life alone and we leave this life. But our journey, we have to live with our journey for the rest of our lives. And so we've got to make it a bloody good ride, and find that enjoyment in it and find that excitement. So I noticed that in relationships, I would morph into whatever was fitting that person. And then it was like, but I like art. I like wine. I like friends. I like letting my hair down now and then. And I'm a very serious person. I can be a very, very professional person, and I put that hat on. And I do take my life extremely responsibly in many ways. But then I do have to let my hair down and be mature at times and live that. And I think at the moment you do have this feeling that you're going to move into something, and so the love of your life is going to come back. And so it just really comes down to what you feel you're willing to sacrifice and what you're willing to do. When I was in my separation, I put myself in the naughty corner, and anytime I wanted attention from someone, I said, where am I not giving that to me? And then after that, once I was grounded, if another person was giving me attention, I was like, sweet, I'm either accepting it, I'm not requiring it. It's like, that was really nice. Thank you for that compliment. Do you get what I'm saying? So if it's a connection that is soul felt, there's going to be no questions. You're just going to move into it. If there is a connection where you're second guessing it, it's already a problem. Already a problem. Because you ultimately will be, no, this feels good to feel good. I'm going into it. If it doesn't, you don't do it. You're like, and it's not to say everything's a bed of roses and perfect. No relationship is. There's always going to be work in relationships, but you're going to be healthier with the way you operate inside it. Does that make sense? And Venus is retrograding in your zodiac sign this year. So your comfort zone is being pushed out. Venus will be in the house of Taurus until the 11th. It then moves back into Gemini. Well, not back into, but Mars was there. Now Venus is there. So maybe divine feminines are seeing a different thing to do with Gemini in the more gentle attribute and value attribute of things. So Dawn, you'll be valued. Okay, who do we have next, Giggle? So just sit with the heart, my love. You're like, is this person ready? Am I ready? Is this person ready? I think I'm ready. You know, I also have a birthday song to sing. Happy birthday to Bella. Shelley's daughter is turning how old? She's probably fallen asleep on me. It's her birthday tomorrow. So a big happy birthday to Peaches and Cream Bella. She's very pretty, just like her mother. She's a very strong, successful, vivacious woman. That's because she's got Giggle as a mother. Okay, let's see what's coming through for Giggle Glimmer. Ooh, you feel it. This person is coming in, or I don't think you're ready. I'm laughing. You're like, I think deep down you do know what's going to happen. She says, thank you. Happy birthday to you. Gotta love it a bit. She's like my daughter's little twin, really. Tweedledum and Tweedledees, these two. So how'd the walk of shame go? Oh, met some really wonderful people around the world. Okay, so you're like, look, you want a man that is playful, you want a man that has the goods, you want the knight and the king all in one. And you're like, is this person just going to be a knight? Do you get what I'm saying? But they're also the king of wands. And you're like, well, they are the whole kitty. They are. And in the heart, you only want the relationship with them. You're like, I don't really want anyone else. I mean, if something tickled my fancy, I might look at it. But you don't really want the connection with anyone else. But you're like, is this person going to like rock up? They do have the gift of the gab. I would say that. You're like, look, listen, Linda. I know that you are trying to be a smooth mover here, but, and I think it's in reference to the previous text message. Don't manipulate me, okay? You're coming through like, don't manipulate me. That's inappropriate. I love you. I love you, right? But you've taught me over how many years? I know you very well, and I'm trying to teach you what works with me, okay? Because you think he hasn't learned his lesson. Something about value, something. I wouldn't say ethics. I don't feel it's ethics because I do feel this person really does value you, but you're teaching him how to have a healthy connection, how to have a healthy relationship. And it's a little bit like somebody saying where the G-spot is, okay? That's where it is. It's right there. I can't believe I said that on social media. I'm a real open person. Okay, but that's how it's coming through in the read. So you're like, that kind of doesn't work with me. Giggle knows my humour. Some of you may be offended. I deeply apologise. I am not meaning offence. I think we need therapy, comedy. It works. Look at this, gardening, and I cut my hand. They really did a number on him. Oh, he wants you. But he's scared you're going to steal his heart. What is this? This person that they were with previously did a number. I do feel there's a severing. There could have been some money owed. I think it's paid. Okay. Now it does feel at a foundation they're free. There was a loose end they were tying up. Like, I do feel the person's single. I really do. I feel there's been some... probably going to hear from Deb now, because whenever I hear this term Debbie Downer, I always hate myself because I just love Deb's tarot so much. Deb does reads. Yeah. Shout out, girl. Love you. This person was a bit manipulative in their life. I do feel they've been in communication, but there's been a closing of a cycle. I don't feel it's romantic incline. I feel that like they were single. They're single. This person may be communicating in relation to the past. Your twin feels they're cursed. They really do. They're free. And they do want to marry you. Like they actually do want to marry you, but they felt that this financial entanglement needed to be cleared up so that they could be that free individual. And it could be a work-related dynamic. It might. And one message I was getting is this person may leave their job. They may leave their job in order to be closer to you. Or it could be a person they were involved with that they maybe worked with years ago. They're closing that cycle, and this is freeing them so they can be, present in their life. Are they sucking a bit about the message? Yes, but they do get it. They're not silly. You're the first person they think of when they're triggered. They know that it upset you and offended you. They don't mean to do that. Yeah. It's just old habits die hard. Do you know what I mean? You're getting communication. You know, I'm your lucky charm for that. We talk, you're like, ugh, and then you get a phone call. PM me if it happens, just for entertainment purposes. I appreciate it, Giggle. He wants marriage with you. He would like the candy shop as well. I mean, come on, I'm telling you, whenever I read your twin, that's the first thing this person's thinking about with you is, I want to go to the candy shop. Does he want marriage? Yes, he does. He wants connection. He wants marriage. Who we got next? We got quite a bit. Okay, we will be closing the super chat. So last in, jump in because it's 10 o'clock now. Who do we have next? We have Marie. Is Marie in the house? Last call for super chats, or we will be closing. Because Giggle's got a birthday party to sort. Or a facial. Is Bella still with you? Okay. Marie. Plonk that up on the screen. How are you, Marie? Are you taking care? You look like an Italian, yes. I do have, what background do I have? I was born in New Zealand. I have English, Irish, French, and Turkish. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, somebody's coming out of hermit mode. Are you in communication with this person? This person feels they're dreaming about you. Oh. Thanks, Cha. Giggle Cha sent one as well. Okay. There's a worry here. And I think this is coming through on GM's side. It's strange. I wouldn't necessarily look if they're dealing with a karmic. I kind of feel it's weird. This is almost like there's a swap of roles here. Maybe you are dealing with worry about, am I going to be waiting forever? Is this going to be this way forever? But I think it's coming through from them. Thanks, Giggle. Yeah, I think it's coming through from them. Because something's closed off here. It's like there's a privacy. There's something feeling like it's been hidden. And it can be in relation to a connection or a home. And, you know, in the heart of hearts, do they want to be with you? I do feel so. It could be a divorce that they're going through. Don't know. It's weird. I do feel they worry about being alone. I do feel they worry. There's guilt. Okay, now it makes sense. There's guilt relating to the past of not going with you. If something is playing out on your side of the fence and they become aware of it, I do think they concoct a lot of stories in their head. This can be to do with the fact that you guys have been away from each other. You haven't been, you know, that things have not turned out the way they wanted to. Things haven't moved. At a foundation, do they have children, correct? Because they're pulled in two directions at the minute. They're feeling pulled in two directions. So if it was a divorce, a severing of ties, having children, their heart center is guilt associated to leaving these people behind, even though they know they have. And wishing that they had that connection with you. Does that make sense? I think my GM called this week. I missed the phone call. Yeah, they're feeling a bit down in the dumps. Could they be concocting things in the head of maybe what you're doing? I do think it's a very real possibility. It's really strange though, because their personality trait is not a fickle individual. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, this is a real strong person. Then it could be that they want to have them with you. It could be that you have children, but there's something in the context of children. But it's more so the creativity, wanting to really nest with a person, wanting to have a very stable, loving environment, maybe not having that at childhood and now believing and understanding that they're worthy of that. And as an outcome, I do feel in the context of you, this is what they're wanting with you. They're wanting the physical, ambitious. They're, like I said, they're very ambitious and adult in many ways, but they are wanting a connection that is, really going to stand the test of time. I think we all deep down do. I think they called when they were at work. That's what they're telling me. As far as they're concerned, nobody else is going to do. Nobody else is going to be the partner. Okay? It's positive. Well, I see it very positive. They're thinking of you. They're wanting to be with you. They feel like before they were very career oriented, it was very goal oriented. It might have been a way that they dealt with their healing, and that might have been through a separation. Now I feel there is some ironing out of the creases in their direct environment, maybe with people, places, and things. I just get this vibe they're moving towards you. I do feel there's going to be a few more phone calls, maybe some conversations to do with the future. But it's like, how do you bring that about in order to have everyone in one spot? That's what it feels like. This is what the conversation feels like. They also feel you won't move on to another person. Although they would understand if you did, they do get this vibe that you don't want to be with anyone else, but they don't want to be with anyone else either. So they're also saying don't take it personal if it's taking a little bit, because it's not that they're wanting to be with anybody else. They're actually like, there's no other connection that, makes the sacrifices that both of you in your own lives have. But I also feel they're really reflecting back to when maybe both of you were in a relationship previously and went through some personal adversities and how similar they were. Yeah, because this person's real grown. Like they're very kind. They're very gentle. They're very mature. So it's weird that it was being shown to me that they're worried about isolation. So I feel it's more getting ready and walking away from things that are just the cookie cutter safe zone, the Rapunzel effect, because it's keeping you away from happiness. Being in Rapunzel is keeping you away from happiness. So I do feel you're going to get another phone call. That's what they're making reference to. And I do feel they're going to be more open, and there could even be plans for the future. Okay. Who do we have next? Sorry, giggle. Marie. So we've got Marie, KM, Carrie, Don Scorpio, Char, and BNMK. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Char. Oh, Marie, sorry. Yeah, they feel like, Marie, that they feel like they're going to contact you. So Marie was the one that I've already done. So we're on to KM. That's okay, love. Yeah, no, they feel like they feel melancholy. A bit melancholy. Do we have KM in the house? So we have 5 left. Hey, what do you want to look at, my love? How you doing? Let's see. My partner's probably going, wow, it's a long day for you, Yildiz. We're going to the hardware store today. Riveting. Sweet. Okay, so is there a contract you're dealing with at the moment? Limited communication. This person's up in their head and thinking there could be a contract-related dynamic going on. I don't know why I'm saying paperwork. It could be like a legacy inheritance. There's something major going on. Very up in their heads. I also feel that this person is very mature. I don't, and it sounds strange, especially when we say limited communication. I do feel this person is very, very adult with their intellectual beliefs. They do ponder things very deeply. They're very deep. It could be like a Cancerian. It just feels really deep. They have met their fair share of individuals that were, they're just telling me the term gold digger. And it might have been the values, like feeling like they didn't really value that person. Just feeling like they really don't value that person. Yeah. I don't know why I get writing a book. Writing. If they're in a karmic relationship, something's changed. Like, I don't feel that person. I don't feel another energy around them. They are very, how do I explain it? It's like they live in hermit mode psychologically. So they're deep intellectuals. This could be isolating themselves in an office, sitting away, reading. This also can be they're reading old emails, text messages, things that you sent, communication that came through, really pondering over what to say. They're so quiet. Yeah, I don't feel any person around them. I do feel they're alone. So if they did have a karmic, like I said, I'm not feeling anybody around them. I don't know if this person's still working, but they're very focused. They've been very focused over the years on pentacles, working. In their heart, they feel they're going about this with you the wrong way. Every time they felt they could let go of you, they felt that you came back. Yeah. I think they're getting there. Does that make sense? There is ego here, but it could be shame. They know that they need to get out of their heads. They feel you deserve the world. They're like, what do you want me for? Look at this. What do you want me for? They're trying to make it easier on you. They think you deserve the world. I would just go quiet. Okay? I would just go quiet for a little bit. Because I feel if you do, if you have been the one instigating the communication, because I do feel they communicate back with you, I would just go quiet for a bit. Because I get this feeling this person is going through a little bit of a mental entanglement. But if you go quiet, they're going to move away from the ego. And I feel they're just naturally going to communicate with you. I don't think they're going anywhere. But I do think they're being too far. It's like we tell ourselves those false fulfilling prophecies. I think if you just go cool for a minute and stay grounded, I think they're going to move in towards you. Because it feels very close, but I do feel they intellectualize it a bit too much. And they're making a choice for you instead of, and it's not really making a choice for you. It's because they have a trauma, they're keeping you at bay. And so if you just give them what they were trying to manifest, it does a 180 and they just move towards you because they stop listening to that. Does that make sense? So, yeah, just let them sit in the head. And this, to me, is going to help that communication come in. But I don't think you're going to need to do anything. And don't get up in your head. It is going to sort. It's just they're being their own worst enemy with their mental entanglement. And I think, and the value system, just, thinking you deserve best, well, so do you. It's a choice. And when you get out of your head, divine masculine, you can actually communicate, and, the reassurance will be there that it will be fine. Just don't get upset by it. Don't personalize it, because I really do feel very close this person will communicate with you. Okay, my love? Thanks, Giggle Legend. Kerry, how you doing, my love? How's your weekend been? How are the horses? We shall do your super chart. Oh, God, have you got paperwork too? You are mulling over your contracts. You're mulling over connections. Again, I do feel with your love interest, this person could be transitioning in some shape or form. I still feel there's gossip coming in. I don't know. Whoa. You could have some old vibrations coming up. Old trauma. Yeah, I feel you're really grounded. So this is going to go two ways. If this is not you, this is your love interest feeling very jealous, very insecure in relation to you. You do have some work-related dynamics going on. You got paperwork. You're getting your ducks in a row. You're pretty busy. I still see pay rises. I do. I really do think there's a shift here. This person's jealous. Oh, good. That's good to see. They're coming up as a king. I don't know why I get a colleague is feeding rubbish to this person. And there is a bit of a, how could I explain it? There's a little bit of a stirrer in the pot here. There's somebody who's using you as leverage to get to the other person. So I think, especially if this person is somebody that will contact you and they're feeding information, they're also doing it in spite of this person. I'm speaking in code here, so I hope you get what I'm saying. You can PM me if you need more context. Yeah, they're trying to stir the pot. You could still have some old emotions relating to betrayals coming up, but you're still moving forward. You're moving forward. Connection coming in. I do feel this is a person of the past. It does feel it's going to be very quickly. When it happens, it's very quick. It's unexpected. I feel that you could be having maps of what you've got to do, and then you could be getting some triggers. Hi, Kerry. But I do directly feel for you, Kerry, is that this individual is very jealous of you, but there's two people. So I feel a co-worker is trying to stir the pot here, especially when they're communicating. It's getting back. There is a cycle wrapping up very quickly, and it's changing, and you're coming up with the Lovers here and the Fool card. So I do feel there's a leap of faith forward, but I do feel somebody is manipulating your love interest, and it is stirring them up, and jealousy is coming up. Oh, sorry, KM. Oh, the joy. Okay, so Kerry, I do see there's a big, I just get that there is a big value change here. You could be going, how could I explain it? You can be getting to a point where you can have a lot of abundance coming in. You also could have your value system really raising, where you're like, no, I know what I'm worth and I'm going to get it. Even though there's old triggers on old emotions this month that can play out, I still feel you're moving forward. But I just get from the cards that something is going down with your love interest. And I think a change is happening in the air very, very quickly. Very quickly. very, very quickly, because they're going from an up in their head to a king. But I still do get 2 to 3 people playing out in your read. So pay attention to the individuals that are coming around you. If you do have jealousy coming up, you could be actually channeling another person, not necessarily your vibration, especially if you've done the shadow work in your life and you're really detached and you're like, it is what it is. I don't think this is your vibe. I think you're actually channeling another person's energy. Well, 3 people. They're mentioning 3 individuals that are keen. I also am being shown an old co-worker of your love interest is feeding information back or trying to trigger that person. They're playing silly buggers. It'll go in your favour though, so don't worry. Anywho, okay, we got Don Scorpio. Don Scorpio. You're going to have a busy week, Kerry, so hold on to your hat for that one. It does look through your cards. You're going to have a lot of busyness. John Scorpio, 888, are you in the house? You're most welcome, Kerry. Have a great weekend. What's left of it? Keep safe. Is Don Scorpio in the house? Honestly, my twin's going to be like, what the heck is going on in there? First off, thank you for last week's messages. Yeah, it is a bit challenging. Most welcome. Checking in on twins' energy towards me. We've got the 3 of Swords in the past. There could be some old shadow work that is coming up to do with past tense individual, your side, their side. But this also can be a karmic going by the wayside. I feel it already has, but again, I am seeing this. This person is trying to have the courage to come towards you. They're having the courage to deal with some again, jealousy is really coming up. You're the second one that's had that. And I don't think it's on your side, love. I think it's on the other person's. You've been fairly busy. There have been some stresses. I think if you do tune into this person, you'll probably find they are going through quite a bit. I do get this person is trying to have the courage to move forward towards you. But this is to jump in the deep end. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like, okay, let's jump in the deep end. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's move. But it's to do with future projects. That could be future projects, future, the way things are going to be, future tense. I do get that they're really doing some shadow work in relation to the past, and it's to do with insecurities and jealousy, maybe when you were in a different relationship. There's insecurity and jealousy. It's really strange. I would not usually pick that with a masculine's energy, and it's come through a few times, and I do think it's collective energy. They're out of sync. They're really looking at it's in the old days, maybe it was like they'd look at the 7 of Cups and it's like, the world is my oyster. I can have whatever I want to have. I'm very detached and it looks like a candy shop. Now they're kind of, they're psychologically, that's not working. That's not working for them. They want something more grounded and mature and, growing. Yeah. 3 of Swords is going to the past. I'm saying this is a very positive thing. Whether it be a mental entanglement or a physical 3D situation, a karmic situation, it's to the past. So for me, I take that as a great positive. Are they worried and are they nervous and apprehensive? Yes, they're very apprehensive. Wow. Look at this. Full on thinking about it. All right. They know it's mental. It's all in their head. They're trying to move forward with it. Have you been in communication with this individual? They're making reference to a confusion, a misunderstanding. This could have been a real old one, a It doesn't even have to be most recently, but they're making reference to an old confusion, an old conflict. They may have acted like it never really mattered, but they're making reference to it really did. It bugged them, whatever this is. They're worried you're going to hurt them, but I don't really feel that. I feel this is all to do with the past. If they hurt you, they're very sorry. Yeah, if there was hurt there, they're really sorry. Like, they never meant to hurt you in the way they did. I hope you understand what that means, because they're just making reference to they're really, really sorry. They didn't mean to hurt you. They're making reference to the fact you've been there through good, the bad, and the ugly. This could have been a very long time. Do you get what I'm saying? It's maybe you've walked a mile in their shoes. You have been understanding. They've had things occur to them that they've never shared to people. This could be traumatic events. Yeah. They've been very private to do with their childhood. They've been very private to do with certain elements in their life. They're not the type that just goes and spread the word big bird. That's just not who they are. They're very private. They only let a select few in, very protective of themselves. Okay, what is the outcome here? I'm getting a week or two where they're unpacking something. I do feel they're going to move towards you. They're trying to unpack something now. At the moment, they feel if they do place themselves where they're not communicating with you, it's for you, okay? Because they need to unpack what's going on so they can articulate it. But I do feel they're wanting to move towards you. I do feel that they feel they're going to be more grounded and able to approach it. But there is a sacrifice. And they know if they're going into the connection with you, to them, what they are saying is it's going to be the last connection they go into. So they're trying to get themselves prepared in some shape or form. I do feel they've got a little bit of a problem that they're dealing with at the moment. Could it be financial? It could be. I don't think it's permanent, though. Whatever this is, it's very temporary. It could be communication does come in. Cha! She's going to the car washing. I got to drive home, so I'll listen to mine later. I appreciate it. Just what are the guides to tell you? Drive carefully. Okay? Mars is in Cancer. I'm hearing the, what's her name? Sierra song. Level up, level up. Yeah, you're going to be confident. What's wrong with being confident? I'm getting. I'm saying rain. That's random, Char. Is it raining where you are, Char? Why am I saying rain? One, 2, 3. You get some hot spicy sauce here, girl. Somebody's coming in. You know, blast from the past. Bit of juicy gossip. Somebody watching you. And I don't get stalker vibes. Maybe. Off and on, not at all. Yeah, because I'm seeing something that's going to play out is going to be on a rainy day. And it feels it's a reference point. I do feel you driving. I do feel a dark sky. I don't feel it's negative. But I feel something quite nurturing and something. They're giving me that as a timestamp of a physical change in the air for you. I do feel there's a hot and spicy, juicy one coming in here. They may be entering into your dream state. You're going about your merry life at the moment. This person's having a great deal of remorse. I do feel two people. You could have old emotions that do rise again and you're reviewing them, but I think it's because this person is actually thinking about it. You're channeling it. There's a fresh start in love here for you. Keep an eye on your dream space. You're going to get some messages. This could be coming through in songs, but I do feel you're going to get some messages. I do feel this person has seen you. It might have been while driving, and again, it could be on a rainy day. You're thinking they're happy-go-lucky and everything is a bed of roses. There's an ending and a new beginning here. I feel the quietness was because of an ending that was going down. Honestly, you're literally looking at this going, I'm never going to be married. I'm never going to be in a connection. Maybe I was silly. And then other times you're thinking they were silly. You get a passionate liaison coming up. So I do get this vibe that something is going to happen extremely quickly. Could this be the same individual that you're tuning into? Very possibly. It also could be somebody else, but I feel it's them. Do I think they've gone through a divorce? A possibility, yes. You definitely thinking they're just living their happy life and it's going to be like that forever. And I'm really not saying that. I'm really saying that this person is having a great deal of crap going on and they feel they were foolish to go into a circumstance where both parties really haven't been since the beginning on the same table. Yeah, I'd rather be single. Sort that. Okay, message for Char. Oh, I'm just telling you, you got to... you got hot and heavy. This person's all up in your energy. And the next card was love as well. So something's on its way, Char. Okay, this could be a passionate liaison. I do feel it's quite passionate. I do feel there's a lot of chemistry between the both of you. I mean, it's happening quick. Be ready. I think it'll be this. And I don't feel it's like tomorrow. I feel it's a real possibility this month, some shift. Now, what could that shift look like? Gossip coming through that this person is separated. Bumping into this person. I'm seeing the go sign. Good luck with that one. BNM. Can't look at that. I need glasses. You know why? Because the flashlight's in my face all day. I'm going cross-eyed. Yes, but this person's, it feels anxious, Char. This person feels anxious. You know, like when you're in a hurry, you've got to get to that person. You've got to go. Drive all night to get to you. That's what I'm hearing. BNMK95. Last call for you. Pulling your cards. What do I see coming through for you? Oof, you got a lot going on. There is a judgment coming. Okay, there's some drama going on. I can feel you busy. You're very tired. You have a lot happening. Your mind could be, I wouldn't say it's happening right this very moment, but the mind could also be a bit affected this month, okay? So try to keep your mindset very positive, because a lot of the stories that you're telling yourself are a little bit false, okay? Because I do feel the mind can be our best friend, and it can be our arch enemy when it tells ourselves things, especially when we do shadow work. I was in a bad car wreck last week and trying to cut karmic out. Yeah, because the mind at the moment, you're just like, am I cursed? And I feel, look, the tower is in the past now, okay? So it is in the past. It's shaved off. It could be to do with, do you have children together? Thank you, Giggle, for your help. I appreciate it. Yeah, because it feels almost like this bad luck and this curse. It's like you need to nurture yourself. You want to be nurtured. You want to be cared for. It could be a subject to do with mother coming up, but that tower, this old situations, it's like literally feeling cursed, pulling things down, things falling down. You're like, what more? What more is going on? You want protection. You want balance. Things are going to go in your favor. I don't know what they mean by that. This can be a decision. It could be based on what you just spoke about, where it feels judgment, but it's going to be, I feel you're wanting to make very rash decisions about your future, especially to do with this connection. But I also feel you have a lot going on. Yeah, and that's because, and like I said, Dal, the first cards that were coming out was feeling almost like, is this, it's, when we're in those moods, am I cursed? Is this happening to me? Is this karma? It's like, it's false. It's shift that vibration and be gentle with yourself. I mean, when you are going through a really hectic week, obviously we're going to naturally attract that. But it's to pause, to breathe in, to breathe out, to just be for a moment. And then that energy can reset, and then good karma can come back in towards you, because I feel at the moment you're just like, if anything else is going to pop off. And like I said to the members, I said to them, stay positive. And Lois said to me, is anyone sick of you saying stay positive? Well, the thing is, we have no choice. Is that with all these things that are closing out with Pluto, is that we have to be open to bounce, and get ourselves grounded and jump back up and, start moving forward, because we really don't have a choice in the mix. Emotionally, it's like you wish somebody was there for you, but maybe the wrong people are there for you, and that's what you're looking at, and you're sort of like, you want this separation done and dusted, okay? So this, as you were mentioning the karmic, it's like you want it gone. Are you worried they're going to take something from you? Because there's almost like this feeling that, they're putting the green eye on you, and you feel they're taking from you. They're going to mess your life up, mess your, it's like you feel that they are bringing bad luck to the surface. I do feel it's something to do with the cord cutting with them. But are they connecting with you in the 3-day? If they are connecting with you in the 3-day, what is the entanglement? Is it an emotional entanglement, or is it a physical entanglement? Because if it's emotional, that's our shadow, and that's where we need to look at the reasons why. Yeah, there is a new beginning here. Because I feel this person's almost feeling like you're going to go back to them. They're really coming through in your read. This is the individual, and it's an X. This individual feels you're coming back to them. And I feel it's the karmic that you're cutting out. They literally feel they still have a story in your life. And I feel until that cord is actually cut, this cycle can't unwrap. So you need to make a judgment on it. There's some reason why they feel that they're still allowed to be in your life. Is there healing going on towards a betrayal that you had with this person? Because I think there is a reason this blockage is continuing, is because on your side of the fence, from a psychological point of view, this has not ended yet. I hope that makes sense. Because they feel like they're trying to correct it because of past mistakes. You're trying to be realistic. You are over it, but it hasn't gone because it's not as coming to terms with the past. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, working on cutting cords. Well, even with the cords, it's to do with the healing and the belief of what relationship you have with that person, like, because cord cutting isn't going to do it if we don't have it here and there. It's a vibration. It's like, could it be that because of something that, sometimes we trauma bond with people. So with the emotions, what history did you have with this person? Were they with you during a very horrendous time, and therefore somehow there's guilt associated to it? And there's like, well, they were there for me at a point. Do you get what I'm saying? So you won't be able to get rid of them until you do the internal, and the internal is what's blocking it, because they don't look at it the way you look at it. They look at it as, because you are turning in towards them at times, that they're still part of your picture. When sometimes when we do turn in towards it is because we had a trauma bond with this person, not a romantic entanglement. So they're getting mixed signals. You know what I mean? And they really don't. It's weird. They do want a relationship, but they don't want a relationship. Okay, my love? If you do need support, bookings directly below. Gig will put them up on the page, and the information will be directly below the video. I will try and record these videos separately so we can go through and do the super chats on the Sunday. Take care. Thank you all for the super chats. Hope you enjoyed the breed, and I'll see you next week. Don't forget to see your zodiac signs, sun, moon, and rising.